Yeah, Assalamualaikum and a very good day. So today my partner and I would like to present the lesson plan on Mr. Turtle to the Rescue. So this presentation will be presented by Aimi FARAHANIM binti NORDIN 273122 and also NURATHIRAH SYAZWANI binti Muhammad FADZLI 273836. So before we start, let me briefly explain about the lesson plan. So we have decided to teach the storybook based on standard 3, which is 3 ACAS, and we also decided the duration of the lesson is 45 minutes, and the theme that we have chosen is World of Stories, and also our focusing skills is on reading, but we have integrated the listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills based on the storybook. And so this is our content standard, which is understand a variety of linear and non-linear print and digital text by using appropriate reading strategies. So this is our learning standard, and our learning outcomes based on the storybook is the first one. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to pronounce certain words given by the teacher, describe the main idea of the short story, identify the specific information and details of short simple text using print resources, which is the Mr. Turtle to the rescue. And our success criteria is students can briefly describe at least 3 main ideas based on the story, and students are able to listen to the correct sentences through the audio being played. And the third one is students are able to pronounce at least 5 words using the flashcard. So our cross-curricular elements is language, and grammar focus is pronunciation on the selected words taken from Mr. Turtle to the rescue, and our assessment is based on tasks. So this is our teaching aids, which is the storybook itself, Mr. Turtle to the rescue, flashcards, A4 paper, pencil, eraser, prototype of turtle and fish, and also worksheet. So next, I will pass to my partner to explain details about our procedure on site induction.
Right, thank you, Aimi. So for set induction, let us see what is the activity there. Okay, so we are going to do set induction for 5 minutes. So teacher brings a prototype of a turtle and fish in the black box to the class. Then teacher asks students to guess what is in the box. The question is like, what do you think is in the box? And then students will answer the question. They will perhaps maybe like wonder what is actually in the box. So teacher provides feedback and students relate to this topic. So there will be a prototype of turtle and fish and also a black box. And the 21st century learning in set induction include communication and critical thinking. So the next one. Okay, so this is an example of the prototype that will be used during set induction. Let's Okay, a set of activities start with the we start with the first step, which is word check. So let us see. In the step one, it refers to the LO, first LO, and it will be in 10 minutes. So what we were gonna do is teacher asks students to open the storybooks, and students where students have been informed earlier to read that storybook at home to get ready for the activity in the next class. Then teacher will place the recorded audio, and then students were asked to listen carefully to that audio as they will be asked to pronounce certain words afterwards. So the words that have been picked is actually words from the book. So after the recorded audio has finished playing, the teacher takes out 5 flashcards containing 5 words each, which is favorite, shout, ignore, coral, and ocean. So teacher asks students to pronounce each word after her cue, and students repeat after the teacher. So this will include communication during step one. So next slide. Okay, so this is a sample of flashcard that will be used where teacher will show this to students and let students pronounce it, like favorite, shout, ignore, coral, and ocean. Next, I will pass back to uh, my friends, Aimi.
Okay, thank you, Athirah. So next, I will be presenting the second step, which is our procedure is misconception. So this is the activity. So the first one is students are given 5 statements using flashcards based on the storybook of Mr. Turtle to the Rescue. And then students will need to identify what is the correct answer when given a false fact. And students are given 3 minutes to think about whether the statement is true or false. And the teacher will randomly pick 5 students to tell their answers based on the flashcards using true or false, and then teacher will provide feedback. So this activity will take 7 minutes to complete the step. So our 21st century learning that we implemented in this activity is communication, collaboration, and also critical thinking. So, and also uh, our PBM is flashcards. So this is examples of the flashcards of the false fact, such as Lion and Lucas are friends. Lion want to touch Coral, so student will need to think whether this statement is true or false. Okay, next we move to step 3, which is assessment. So in this step 3, we decided to put it as 20 minutes to complete the step. So the first one is teacher will give a worksheet to the students, which are circle the questions, and students are given 10 minutes to complete the worksheet individually, and teacher will ask students to circle the correct answer, and then the students will need to hand in the worksheet to the teacher, so teacher will provide feedback to the students back. So they need this in this step we need to have a worksheet and a pencil. And 21st century learning is communication, collaboration, and also critical thinking. So this is the example of the worksheet. So that consists of 8 questions. So students need to circle the correct answer. Okay, next. Okay, next I will pass back to my friend.
All right, and the last one is closure. So next, right? So we are going to use as it step as the activity for closure. So we'll take about 5 minutes for closure activity. So there is two type of closure. The first one is cognitive closure, and the second one is social closure. So for cognitive closure, students will conclude and summarize today's lesson, and students were asked to write for 1 minute a specific creation on a piece of paper. The creations is what did you learn for today, and teacher opens up a conversation about it in the next class. And for the social closure, teacher congratulates students for their attention and cooperation in class. The teachers motivate students to read more storybooks. So there will be used a piece of paper for this activity. Next, I will pass back to Aimi to explain about theoretical concept.
So, as we know that teaching and learning is a complex process and with a numerous elements, which means that as a learner, they are strive towards their objective and also incorporate new knowledge, behavior, and also skills into their learning experiences, which have a variables of interest. So basically, we have two theoretical concepts that we have implemented in our lesson plan, which is the first one is constructivism and also the second one is connectivism. So I will explain on constructivism, and the other one will my partner will explain it. So the first one is we implemented constructivism in our lesson plan, which is constructivism is a concept that states that rather than passively taking in information, students that will generate knowledge, which means that the student is viewed as an empty vessel to be filled with the knowledge in the passive perspective of teaching, which constructivism asserts that the learners can only construct meaning by active engagement with the world. So that's why we have made an activities that student will participate actively. Okay, so this can be seen in step 1 where the students had asked to read the storybook before the class began, which from this it can construct our students' prior knowledge or an idea of the storybook where the class is begin. In contrast to the traditional education, when knowledge is merely passively imparted by the teachers to the students, so the constructivist learning theory underpins a variety of student-centered learning methods and also practices. Next, I will pass to my partner to explain briefly about the connectivism in our lesson plan.
Alright, so next is cognitivism. So cognitivism is the ability of the brain's mental processes to receive and retain knowledge through the experience, senses, and thought. So cognitivism focuses on mental processes via which the learner receive, interpret, save, and retrieve information. And during cognitivism, students might be encouraged to think about their thinking by using general questions, quiet time, and self-analysis dialogue. So this kind of cognitivism, okay, can be seen during step 2, okay, where students were given a simulation or a hands-on problem. As we can see earlier, step 2, the activities in step 2 is misconception. So students were given a hands-on problem. So it allows them to make mistakes and then learn from the mistakes. And in step 2 also, okay, they were given a statement to predict if their answers were correct or incorrect. So a simulation that tells them where they went wrong can then assist them in making the necessary corrections. And this allows them to see where they went wrong in their thought process and rewrote their thinking to arrive at the correct answer. And for closure, okay, during the closure, students also were encouraged to do some self-reflection. Okay, we have self-analysis dialogue here. So providing students with opportunities for self-reflection can go a long way towards assisting them in better understanding their brain processes. And therefore, any form of cognitive learning or notion can assist teachers in helping students realize their full potential. So, to conclude, teacher provides a calm and instructive classroom environment that encourages pupils to be confident in their learning abilities. And teacher also contributes to the creation of an environment that is based on positive thinking, which might lead to improved learning. So that is all from us. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all from us.